We are live. Welcome. It's been a long time coming. Episode 21, Let's Talk Games podcast. Kid Smooth, Notorious, DRE.
What's up?
Man, the last time we had a show, we were anticipating, it was a week before the Xbox E3 showcase, because we skipped the week of the showcase because we did a Planet Xbox LTG
like mashup.
Mm-hmm. And then we had the reaction. You was a part of that, the live reaction. So now we have a regular podcast. And I apologize for the name and the lack of alerts. Don't take the name seriously, guys. There's just really nothing new to talk about. But I didn't want to take another week off. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah. He says, Tyler, time to take Xbox seriously. It's been 4 gens. Set. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and make sure the chat populates so we can talk.
Hope y'all ain't forgot about us, man.
Yeah, please. Ah, man. He said they didn't show anything impressive, to be honest.
Damn.
Here's the thing. Personally, I gave that show, I don't know if you remember, my grade was a 7.5. 7. And not because I thought that the show was bad. I felt like Halo Infinite should have been a bigger part of the show, and Halo Infinite should have had an exact release date. But with me being a biased Xbox fan, right, giving it a 7.5, the show, obviously people thought better of the show than I have. It's won best show. A lot of the games from the show is winning awards. Forza, most anticipated game.
Which is crazy over Halo. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it being the most viewed Xbox E3 ever. So obviously, I mean, critics were highly of it. People liked it. I saw a lot of reactions there that I was surprised to see from other people, but I still stick by mine. Like I said, I think it would have been more impactful to me had they given Halo like that, release date, and then seeing more of a Halo campaign demo. Overall show I thought was great. I was happy what they showed of Starfield, and to learn more after the show that wasn't CGI. It was in game. Or in game in engine using the creation too. So they said all those that we saw was like assets that's in the game. So we had a couple new IPs revealed. Forza end up somehow being the best looking game showed at the event that we got to see. But a lot has.
Forza caught some heat though, man. Caught some heat after a week.
Catch some heat.
Caught some heat, man, with the 4K 30 and the ray tracing and the basically in photo mode, man. I ain't never heard that before. So.
I mean, here's the thing, right? We could talk about this, right? We can talk about this, and people probably gonna come at me for this too. And please let me know if the music is too loud. I thought I put it down to a certain volume, and I'm trying to make sure I'm still at least loud enough. All right. So, hear me out. Because the first thing that people did when, Ratchet came out, and even Digital Foundry did the shit too in their thing. All these images people were taking of Ratchet and Clank were all in photo mode. And it's when I'm looking at it, when they do all those close up to the eyes and all this other shit, and I was like, okay, that I get it. Ray tracing's there, but that's not happening in the middle of you playing for you to witness. It's not like you froze the screen right there, like, oh no, people are going into photo mode where the resolution and image quality is hyped up to the max because it can be, and they're like taking all these pictures and like, oh, look how beautiful this game looks, and I'm like, I'm playing the game, right? And I thought Ratchet always looked good. It's always been a good looking game regardless of the generation of PlayStation it's on. There's no knock against the way Ratchet looks. But when I'm playing it, I was like, okay, I played it in performance mode, and I just recently switched it to performance ray tracing. I'm not doing ray tracing regular. I'm just not. I mean, I know it looks good at 4K 30 whatever. I want the performance mode. I was like, all right, I tried with the regular performance mode. It's great, looks great. Now let's see how big of a deal the ray tracing is. And I'm not sure how big of a deal it is because I don't see the biggest difference, but I'm not that wowed. And I don't know if I'm not wowed for the simple fact because maybe I've seen Ratchet too much to the point where now I'm used to it. You know how you see a game often, like for example, God of War, right? I wasn't watching a whole lot of previews of God of War. Like I wasn't watching a whole lot of previews of Last of Us Part 2. So the novelty of their visuals stuck with me longer because I didn't see a whole lot of it. I feel like I saw a whole lot of Ratchet. So right now when I'm playing it, I feel like I'm just playing another video game. But like the thing I see on Twitter versus what I'm playing I don't feel like it's the same thing.
Go
ahead.
I don't think it's the same as a Force. Like the ray tracing is there in game.
Yeah.
You just can't freeze frame and zoom in all the way so you can get that photo, that perfect picture that you want.
Yeah.
That's totally different from what Forza is doing, which is there's only ray tracing in the photo mode, which is super weird.
Well, it's not actually weird. It's not weird. Now,
I mean, at least have it in the 4K 30 mode. At least if it's not in the
But here's where I have to argue, right? So, all right, I expect the next Forza, the one that's not open world, the little track. I expect that to have ray tracing in the game because they have room to do that. You know, there's a lot of things they don't have to account for, whereas there's a lot of shit to account for in a game like Forza Horizon, a game like Spider-Man and stuff like that. The thing is, a reason why I don't think it matters, it's like people don't know what the fuck ray tracing is. Everybody thinks ray tracing is just fucking reflections.
Right? Correct.
If somebody put up two games, one that has screen space reflections, one that have ray trace reflections, right? And let's say it was just like a form of a puddle. No, people wouldn't be able to tell you if you did not highlight that, hey, this is ray tracing and this is screen space. They wouldn't be able to tell, right? So I feel like if you do a good enough job with in-game reflections, with screen space reflections, or whatever other form of reflections you can do to give that accurate look, and lighting, that accurate, however they bake in the lighting and whatnot, if you're able to do that, then at that point, does it matter? I think ray tracing now, even though in some cases, some games, not all games does ray tracing good. Some games do a better job than others, but I think right now it's more of like just knowing, it's a mental thing. Oh, I know this, I mentally know this game has ray tracing. Call of Duty has ray tracing, right? Right. But it's not the ray tracing in the way you think. Their ray tracing is shadows.
Right.
So, but it's a mental thing. So people are sitting there looking at the ground, looking for their characters. It's like, no, not the same ray tracing, bro.
But you right about that because when they showed that preview of Forza, I thought that
you thought it was ray tracing because you saw the reflections off the cars and stuff, right? And it looked all shiny and shit like that. So, and just like me, like you, I thought that was ray tracing too. So when I heard, it's only available on Vista, and I'm like, well, damn, that's some good ass screen space reflections.
I swear to God, I was like, okay, but yeah, they fooled me completely. You see, y'all know I don't care about ray tracing in the slightest.
Yeah.
Probably the most. I know I said overrated in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not overrated if it's implemented like nicely.
Yeah.
But for it being so taxing,
it's not worth it in some cases.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Exactly. I can definitely do without it. Yeah.
So so for example, I remember when Dirt 5 came out, and the developer, I think David Springate, he was very vocal and communicative, and I was playing it image quality mode. I played a lot of Dirt 5, believe it or not. And I'm like, bro, some of these stages, right? Some of those dirt like puddle stages, the reflection work and the puddle was just on point. I'm like, yo, has this game got some sort of ray tracing in it? Right? And so I'm sitting there hitting up the dev, and he was like, no, it's just screen space reflection. And then he was like, yeah, we thought about ray tracing. We thought about putting it. We said, but why bother if our reflections are just as good and not have to worry about the performance hit? So
I agree.
It's like, I get it. It's nice because people think, ray tracing, they think of those high-end, GPUs, the RTX series, and we hear how taxing it is on certain cards. So it's like, oh, this game on my console is doing ray tracing. I have a beast ass console, right? And the ray tracing is done on different levels, you know. And I always admit, I feel like PlayStation so far, their games have the best form of ray tracing for console games that like I've seen so far. And I would say with Spider-Man and like I said, Ratchet. It's not that it's I don't think it's hit or miss. It's just that the part of ray tracing that people are appreciating more in Ratchet, I don't think shines while you're playing. It shines while you're in photo mode.
In certain areas,
and you beat the game. I haven't beaten it yet, so I'm pretty sure my mind will probably change.
I'm the wrong person to tell you because I didn't play it in ray tracing mode. I played it in
you didn't do performance
because my thing is like if I want to get ray tracing, I want to see it at its absolute best, and that's at 30 frames per second. And I'm not playing it that way. Gotcha. So I just take the best of both. Give me the best resolution at 60 frames, and that's normally performance mode regular. Yeah. And I played it like that. I didn't play no ray tracing.
So the damage control for Forza Horizon 5 is that you're going to be driving 102 miles per hour. You're not going to be able to really appreciate the rating. You're going to just sit there parked all day, ringing around. And by that time, if you're going to be parked, their screen space work detail is so good. You're going to think, if they hadn't told you it wasn't ray tracing, if they had just said, if they did not do a Q&A, people would have just assumed ray tracing, and it would have been praised for having good ass ray tracing.
You right about that.
Not said anything because as soon as that thing switched from Forza Vista to in game, and the reflection was bouncing off the top of that fucking SUV and shit like that, I was that's some good ass ray tracing. Here we go. But
you're absolutely right. I wouldn't give a damn.
But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this is the latest Forza game released November 9th. Forza is generally a September, October at latest title. So now that put us in a weird position, right? Because Xbox is promising. I don't know if you've seen the advertisements. If you've been watching playoff basketball, you would have been seeing the new Game Pass advertisements that have been running on TV. 6 great games in 6 months, right? And those 6 games that they're advertising are Flight Sim. Obviously, that's the next one that's coming out. Psychonauts, which is so Flight Sim's in July. Psychonauts is in August. They have Back for Blood, which is October. They're promoting that because that's a day one in Game Pass.
That game is going to have a crazy following, I think.
Yeah,
I think that game is going to have a crazy following.
Yeah. It's their you got Age of Empires, which is PC. That's late October. They got Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5. Now, of all those 6 games, only Halo Infinite is the one that doesn't have a release. They have 2 windows of time that they don't have. They're not accounted for. September and December.
Yeah.
When does Halo Infinite launch? And while you think about that, let me read this super chat from Pillsbury 27,999. He says, "What's good, brothers? The show was okay.
What up?
But there is no date for Halo Infinite, but it will be in September. I finally brought a Series X from Best Buy yesterday, but pick it up next week. Good show. Why are you waiting next week? You want to give some crackhead the opportunity to take that Xbox? Shout out to you, Pillsbury. I hope you enjoy
What's
that
up,
Xbox, man.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with him and say September. It has to be September.
I mean, holiday. They said holiday though. What holidays in September? Labor Day?
No, that's true. Okay, so
I would love for it to be September.
Yeah, that's sandwiched in between some big hitters.
This is what they have to avoid, though. Think about this before you give your date. This is what they have to avoid. They have Forza who are already claiming November 9th. Technically, it's November 5th if you buy the expensive version, right?
Right.
They have a partnership with Battlefield, who's October 22nd.
Okay.
The only other big game we don't know release date is Call of Duty. And the next gen version of Grand Theft Auto, which whatever.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. I would. it's either going to be late November, just to give Forza that. I mean, because Forza is Forza. It's a racing game. And if you like racing, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So either late October, early December, and I'm kind of leaning on it might get delayed until early next year. Like they might like release the multiplayer because it's free to play, but that single player they might delay that thing if it don't come out in between November or October and December.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the thing is they already committed to them launching both of them together. They got two box arts together, what we're going to see, and they already committed to the advertisements. Now, I know there was advertisements before, but the advertisements before was vague. Mm-hmm. The advertisements now that are on TV, that are airing on TV, is guaranteeing this holiday, and Halo's a part of that 6 games. They can't say 6 games. This Halo's going to move out. Now, I think if I'm them, damn it, I would do early October. Because the thing is that all right, because
my fault. Go ahead.
Because I feel like what has to happen, I feel like they have to be at least 3 to 4 weeks before Forza Horizon, or 3 to 4 weeks after Horizon, or 3 weeks before Battlefield, or 3 weeks after Battlefield. Call of Duty, I don't think Call of Duty matters, for the simple fact they're not targeting being the most sold. They're targeting having the most players. This Call of Duty's finna be ass. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be trash. So they can worry about. I agree with that. Yeah. They don't have to worry about really the player thing. If you want to get a head start or whatever, that's fine. But usually it's different from back in 2015 where they expected Halo 5 to be the #1 seller. All right, so you launch it in its own month where it doesn't have to share a month with Call of Duty. It doesn't have to share a month with Battlefield. That's one thing. Now, Game Passes, you want to tout how many people are playing Halo. Remember, the multiplayer is free to play. Right. So you want to count, they want to be able to tout how many people they had like the first week or day one. And they'll get that because they have no barrier to entry. Battlefield, $70, Call of Duty, you know how expensive that is. And not if people aren't going to be playing Call of Duty, they're going to be playing Warzone. So that's an ongoing game.
But Battlefield got that hype around it this year, man. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of buzz around Battlefield and a lot of excitement for it. So that's what I'm saying. Like if it releases in October, the same month as Battlefield,
but you have to do it first.
I mean, yeah. Even though Halo's in Game Pass, that's tough. That's gonna be a tough one because Battlefield got hype like crazy.
It got hype. But think about it. You gotta think about it. The last 2 Battlefields weren't received that well. They got something to prove. If you think about it, it's not like they had the hottest game the last time out. They had to take a hiatus.
It wasn't praised because nobody wanted to go back to World War II and World War I. Like if Battlefield 5 was modern, like how Battlefield 6 is, or not 6, 2042. 2042, yeah. It would have been hype because that's pretty much what the Battlefield fan base has been wanting, was a modern Battlefield. So now this is exactly what they're getting, and man, I don't know, man. I see what you're saying. It is free to play, so there's no barrier. But I don't know. I just want to release it in a month where a big game could potentially take shine away. Mm-hmm. So, if anything, like you said, if you want to say Call of Duty, if anything, release it late November. If Call of Duty's even releasing it now.
I have a selfish reason why I don't want it to launch in late November.
Why is that? Because Game of the Year?
Game of the Year, yeah. I don't want it to be disqualified from Game of the Year if it's truly going to be it has an opportunity to do that.
I feel you. Well, shit, then release it the 20th anniversary. I mean, because like I said,
that would be a week after Forza.
But I mean, Forza's gonna do what it do, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Forza.
They can coexist. They should be able to coexist.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
no,
exactly.
if you're, chances are, if you're playing Halo, you're not playing Forza. You know what I mean? Like they should be able to coexist at the same time. So that I do understand. And that would be a nice 1-2 punch for the month of November. It's risky. Yep. But they have a goal of getting 30 million subscribers to Game Pass by the end of the year, and I think their lineup to finish out the year is good enough to get to that. And if Halo's and Forza is going to do what they're supposed to do, albeit I do think though Battlefield should have should have made its way in there, bro. I still think it had an opportunity to do so. Same with Madden. I think Madden should have been a day one in there too. Yeah, they got the nerve to have a Madden bundle for $109. They're bugging.
I don't really care for Madden, but yeah, they should be able to coexist. Definitely, like you've been saying, it's no barrier. It's in Game Pass, so it's nothing to really stop the fan base from playing both. So
absolutely. Shout out to Old Man Logan and Dopest J.
Yo, PX hold up. Crew. Big shout out. Hold on. Big shout out to Old Man Logan. He's the one. So I put my new logo on Twitter, and he's the one who gave me the info on where to go, man. And them motherfuckers is cheap as hell too, man. It's only like $30 for what I paid for. Yeah. So man, shout out to my guy Logan, dog. Appreciate you, my guy.
All right, so the channel's coming. So the channel content's coming soon.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then all right, cool. So that's why you asked those questions. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There was a shout out to Jigga. He gave us a shout out earlier, and I think I saw Verge Brizzle, who had a question. He's like, "What up, Kiss Move, Notorious DRE?
What's up, man? How you feeling?"
All right, so pretty much, Phil Spencer had an interview with another podcast, and they asked, somebody had the balls to ask him why Holiday is Halo's gonna come out this year, right?
Okay.
And he reassured them, Halo's still coming out this year, and they have the month down. It's a matter of week, and they said they're trying to figure things out in terms of game releases. So that tells me they know the game release of Battlefield, so they can, and they have Forza first party input that they're doing, so they can account for those two. Who can't they account for right now? Call of Duty, and however big Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 5 once again release is going to be.
That's another one, man. I keep forgetting about that game. I don't like that wording though, because I just don't understand why isn't Halo the priority.
It's probably
everything should be trying to revolve around Halo, not the other way around. Like Halo should have its date, and then the chips fall where they may, and everybody else needs to scramble and see where they gonna fit in at. Why doesn't Halo have a date after a year delay? Like I don't get that. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not the news you want to hear, but I do think they should treat Halo like a Trojan horse. It should be the one that bullies other dates. Like,
exactly.
I mean, this is my date. You figure it out, exactly. Right? But like,
absolutely.
But only people that have clout like that is fucking Rockstar now and Call of Duty. And I don't know why Call of Duty has that, but because it sells like gangbusters. So that's one thing. But like Rockstar and Call of Duty, when they even remember, Call of Duty ducked Red Dead.
Yes, they did.
Which was that? I thought it was pretty.
Yes, they did.
Ducked Red. I'm like, wow, okay, it came out pretty early.
So, well, shit. And the rumor is that GTA is coming out the 22nd of November.
Oh,
that's the rumor. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Holiday December for a Halo?
Yeah,
you like that?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't like December for game releases anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Any game like December, I look at December. Me getting games in December are games that came out in October and November that I just didn't buy day one, and that they just happen to be Christmas gifts or something like that, right? So,
I feel you.
Like Dying Light comes out like December 9th. They committed to that date back in like fucking May, and I'm like, December.
Yeah.
There's another game coming out in December too. So, but yeah, man. So Halo, we're still waiting on that. Some other things that came out after the E3 showcase. Starfield got revealed, and they confirmed and they pushed it down our throats. This is Xbox exclusive. Right. And they made sure to say remind people after they showed Redfall. They was like, just like Starfield, it's exclusive. So right. Starfield exclusive come out. It has a date, a firm date of November 11th, 2022. That's a Friday, I think it is. A whole entire more than a year. We have an exact date.
Yeah.
So they like idiots, journalists come out and ask Pete Hines, what does he feel about this game not being available on PlayStation? They asked Todd Howard the same question. Just Todd Howard just said, it'll be a better game working on less platforms. That's how he got out of the question. Which
I kind of agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
Pete Hines was, I think he was taken out of context, but he was like, if you're upset, if you're pissed off, I understand and I'm sorry. But like the way that they put it out was like, oh, Pete Hines apologizes for it being exclusive, like he feels bad for it being exclusive. It's just like when I get somebody complaining to me right at my job, the first thing I say is, I'm sorry. I apologize for the inconvenience. That's just a natural instinct. It's not like
human nature.
Like, oh, I truly feel bad. I'm sorry, my bad. Right. But so he got a whole lot of flack for it. So Xbox fans got mad because reports of him apologizing came out. They was like, stop apologizing. It's competition. You don't need to apologize. So Pete Hines had to address them. He had to backtrack on Twitter. And then him and Aaron Greenberg was on Twitter Spaces. And they had a conversation about an hour long. And towards the end, Pete Hines addressed it again about apologizing and him responding to people and how he wanted to take a break off Twitter. And Aaron Greenberg said, I ain't sorry.
Hey. What is there to be sorry about, man?
Yeah, man.
Did you see Sony apologizing that Spider-Man isn't on Xbox?
No.
Like
Sony PlayStation gets so much the respect PlayStation gets when it comes to shit like this. It's like nobody bothers to ask them. They don't bother to ask, hey, are you gonna put Sunset Overdrive 2 on Xbox? They're not. They'll ask they'll ask them an obvious question. Do you now own Sunset Overdrive? Yes. They own Sunset Overdrive now. So it's like it's never a question they have to ask is if this game's going to Xbox or if this game's still going on Nintendo. No, it's like they accept it, they bought it, they accept it, and they will accept that it's going to be a timed PlayStation exclusive for about 2 years before they decide to put it on PC. Whereas Xbox, it's like they owe this to the community or something.
Yeah. From my understanding, it sounded like he was apologizing to the PlayStation, not apologizing that it's not coming to PlayStation, but just apologizing that a fan base won't be able to play a game from a publisher that was once third party. I don't think he was apologizing I'm deeply sorry that it's not on PlayStation. I wish it was on PlayStation, but we're bought now. I don't think he was apologizing that. But yeah, he shouldn't have said sorry at all.
Yeah,
because there's nothing to be sorry about. Exclusives are why we buy consoles.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know that,
And he highlighted the fact that hey, if you want to play, PlayStation and PC and Xbox, but then he turned around and said, hey, Deathloop and Ghostwire, Xbox and PC guys can't play, or Xbox guys can't play that.
Right.
Because that's
until 6 months after.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. I don't know, man. Aaron Greenberg. He said the right thing.
Yeah. No, he's
sorry for what?
Greenberg is in his bag now because the thing is they're feeling internally the team feels like that they're at an all time high, like, and they're getting they were comparing it back to their 360 days. So if they're feeling that funky, I mean, they're going to be moving on all cylinders like fairly soon.
360. I don't know about 360 days. 360 was a month. Like they were in hindsight, like they was doing their thing.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. They were. But now the thing is though, the 360. Remember a lot of stuff that were released on the 360. They had a lot of partnerships, but nobody was heard. They had a lot of exclusives, but those exclusive end up turning out to be multiply afterwards because they didn't own the studios, they didn't own the IPs. They had the benefit of having these games launch first on the Xbox 360. And whatnot, and now they're at a point in position that they created these partnerships. So they got the partnerships for like Game Pass and stuff, right? But now a lot of those partners they had back in the day, they now own. You know what I mean? Bethesda has always been there for Xbox. Like Oblivion was exclusive to the 360 when it came out in that first year. Fallout was premiered on a 360 for the first half of the generation. For the first half of the generation, Bethesda games played best on 360 by default. They were just not playable on PlayStation 3.
Looked and played best on 360. Correct.
Yeah, so now it's just like it's like, all right, it's official, and it's just cool to see how it all plays out, because Starfield's that first big game, and people got to understand. I don't know if Todd Howard has made a game that hasn't been nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4,
yep,
Fallout 3. Yeah, you're right. As buggy as their games are.
So you kind of have to think like, okay, they're like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. And stuff will soon settle in when the next Elder Scrolls is coming into play, and you're thinking, wait, this is only, I don't want to say, because the way they move it, to me, I'm not playing games on a TV or my phone like that. You know what I mean? I still view it as, from a console standpoint, only console you playing this shit on is on the Xbox, right?
Right.
I mean, it's big. I mean, I feel like the Bethesda acquisition is starting to pay off. They got 2 2022 games already announced. You know what I mean? One's a new both are new IPs. Both are new IPs.
Starfield and what else?
Redfall.
Starfield and
Redfall is slated for the summer, so that'll be out before Starfield. So we should see more Redfall at QuakeCon.
Yeah, I definitely need to see more.
I think we'll see something at QuakeCon if there's going to be a QuakeCon this year.
Did they talk about that at all? Like, is it going to be like a co-op? I mean, it kind of has, the trailer made it seem like it's going to be this maybe a 4-player co-op shooter with powers or whatnot. Did they talk about how the gameplay is or anything of that nature?
They're Arcane. They specialize in first-person action games, right, and they usually make single-player games.
Generally. That's correct. From Dishonored.
This game is still it can be experienced in single player or multiplayer.
Okay,
and the thing is that each character has different abilities that it can do. Right. So I don't know. It's probably going to be recommended that you play with obviously other people, but it's still going to be story driven, and you can do it by yourself, and it's going to be like a But I think how I look at it, I think it of a specialty shooter or a shooter with RPG elements,
right,
and whatnot. So we should see how it plays out. Still don't know much about what Starfield is.
That's what I'm saying, man. After all that trailer, the hype for that trailer, the build up, we still don't know nothing. We still have no clue.
But we got a release date.
Got a release date, which is good, but we got a release date. That's about it, man. We don't know nothing about this game.
Yeah. And so pretty much, that was pretty much news. There's a couple things that released. Scarlet Nexus is out today.
I want to play that so bad too, man. I do, cause like I played the demo and I was not feeling the demo at first. I don't know, but I tried it again and I really like it. I want to play it, but I'm stuck on I'm focused on Mass Effect right now, so it's probably gonna be a minute until I get to play that game. But I definitely gonna check it out though.
Yeah, I booted it up and I just started to play. I was waiting for this game, and the goal is I based off my experience and feedback from the demo, I anticipate sticking with this game through. I believe it's probably going to require at least 2 playthroughs since there's 2 characters.
Okay, yeah.
So I plan on diving into that for the week, and then probably go back in between that and Ratchet and Clank so I can finish off Ratchet and Clank.
You need to, man, because we got to talk about that game. We got to talk about Ratchet.
I'm not worried about being spoiled. You can't spoil Ratchet and Clank, bro. You can't. To me, I don't think it's a spoilable game.
What?
Talk about it. Talk about your game of the year. Let's talk about it.
So I had to take a step back. I had to, because right at first I did call it my game of the year, right? Was definitely in the honeymoon phase. I just off a brand new game, so I was definitely just wooed by that game. But after people are probably going to say you shouldn't think about it so serious because it's not that type of game. But just after really thinking about it, man, there's a couple of things that I don't like that really impact the game for me, and from that I brought my initial score down from a 9 to like an 8, and it could even drop to a 7.5 if I'm being honest. Because see, I really don't want to spoil it for you.
Go ahead,
and I don't want to spoil it for like anybody in the chat
either. It's a platformer. I'm sorry, I don't die. All right, I'm gonna tell you this before I let you get back to this. Ratchet, I played every Ratchet and Clank game with the exception of the PS3 irritations of those games, right? There's nothing about Ratchet and Clank, right, as far as story-wise, that I feel like, oh my god, have you seen this, or do you believe this? I can't believe that happened. This is not Last of Us. It's Ratchet and Clank. Like, I already know who I'm going to have to fight at the end of the game. I learned that at the beginning of the True. like I know, like, so I'm not that. Don't worry about, you're not. Okay. Nothing can be spoiled for me in terms of Ratchet.
All right, let's go in there. Okay, so remember, maybe a few episodes back, I was like, remember when I told you that Rivet was basically Ratchet from another dimension, right, and how I was going on and on about I didn't like that because she's basically going to have no personality, and I feel like I'm going to be forced to like her because she's Ratchet. Like, if you like Ratchet, you cannot not like Rivet. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make sense for you to have an unlikable opinion about her. And I didn't like it, but before the game even came out, I didn't like that. Like, I did not want that. I hated that was the thing of Rivet. And I know a couple of people was like, man, I know a couple of people said that the reviews said she had her own personality and she's not like Ratchet. Bullshit. Rivet is exactly like Ratchet, and I hate it because it feels like Insomniac forced me to like Rivet. Like, they didn't give me an option to like her or not to like her because she's Ratchet. And her sub story is absolutely terrible. And I know people are going to say you shouldn't look into this game like that because it's a lighthearted game, it's a kid's game, yada yada yada. I don't care. Her Rivet as a character could have been so much more. But because she's basically Ratchet from another dimension, I don't like her because of that reason. Because she doesn't have her own personality, right? Her story is absolutely terrible. I'm gonna spoil it for y'all. And spoiler warnings. If you don't want to hear it, leave, please. If you don't want to hear it, but her sub story is all about how the fuck she lost her arm. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, is that really how that really her story? Is how she lost her arm? And to make it even worse, they told you how she lost her arm before she even told you how she lost her arm. So I'm just like, what? I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what is going on? So basically, there's another Clank robot in the alternative dimension, right? Mm-hmm. Who's Kit? I'm pretty sure you know that, right? Yeah. So basically, she's Clank, and basically she can turn into this. She was programmed to like destroy, right? So she can turn into this big ass robot and then start going mayhem on everything, right? So they show that right first, and then they show a flashback of how Rivet lost her arm, and they show this big ass shadow of the big ass robot. And I'm just like, well, damn, that's how she lost her arm. Kid fucking blew the shit off, man. I'm just like, yo, what's going on here? If they would have did that in reverse, if they would have did her flash and then showing Kit growing into the big ass robot, that would have been so much better than how they did it. I'm just like, you basically just told how the fuck she lost her arm, dog. I'm just like, come on with that. So that was garbage. Her personality is Ratchet. So again, I cannot dislike her, which sucks because, like I said, if you like Ratchet, you're automatically going to like Rivet. But maybe he should try to get to know these folk. You dig what I'm saying? So Ratchet's sub story was by far the highlight of the game. Yeah, and then my other knock on it was that Ratchet and Clank needs a formula overhaul. I wouldn't say overhaul, right, but it needs some change, man. Like, it's been the same. That's why they put
Rivet in there. The other Lumbacks.
It's the same. Her moves and Ratchet moves
That's
are
what I
the
meant
same.
to ask, because I'm early in the game, and does that change? Does she evolve?
No.
Eventually?
She has the same moveset, the same weapons, the same everything. Like, the gameplay isn't bad, but it's not bad because it's the same. And I understand the if it's broke, don't fix it scenario thing. But there is nothing wrong with changing up some things, right? Like look at God of War, right? From God of War 3 to God of War 2018. Mm-hmm. Total complete formula change, right? Yeah. God of War 2018 is super dope. Look at Gears 4 to Gears 5? Yeah, Gears 5. They added some open world-ish aspect to it, added some side quests to it. I think personally for Gears 6, they're going to add some craft. It's going to be more RPG-ish than Gears 4 and Gears 5. It works. Like, formula changes can work if done properly. So I get the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. But some shit does get stale. Like, yeah. Ratchet and Clank combat gets stale. I mean, because it's been the same. Mario is stale. It's been the same for 25 years. You dig? So, yeah, just a little formula change, maybe some little something. I'm not a developer, but they can figure it out, man. It's just the same. It's just the same, and it could have been so much more, man. It could have been so much more, but yeah, I'm just totally disappointed in Rivet. And I had to get that off. Me, J-Main, and Jack Move was supposed to be having a like a little spoiler cast type thing to really go in on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay, I'm looking forward to that. Okay.
Yeah, I just did not like Rivet, man. I did it, and I don't like her because of the fact of that she's Ratchet, man. But that's just whack, man. Like, she could have been like a I don't know how they would have did this, but like if she was like Ratchet's sister, right? And then in his universe, he's like, oh shit, I had a sister. I didn't even know about it, right? Or something to that nature, or maybe somebody outside of his family in general, just something to that nature. But him being her being him, that's so whack, man. That's the easy way. That's the easy way to to try to make a story out of something. That's whack.
I think they could have gotten away with just introducing another Lombax. Like, you know, like, I think there could have been ways to make that story work without her being an alternative version of him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? He loses Clank, and Clank pretty much finds himself with another Lombax.
Right.
And then you got to catch up. Yeah.
And then he loses his arm too. Like, come on, man. That is so whack, man. It is so freaking whack, dog. Like, man, oh my God. That's so lame, dog. Yeah. It's just, they could have done a lot better with her character, man. Like, people, like, dead ass people only like Rivet because it's a female Lombax. Like, if Rivet was a guy, they wouldn't give two shits about him. Would not give two shits about him at all. I promise you that. With the same storyline, I promise you. If Rivet was a guy, they would not care. I'm telling you.
You got Dope Boy's attention. He's been going in on you for the.
Oh, what's up, Dope Boy?
He's been going.
Come on, yeah. Said, I mean, it's up to you. Bring him in.
He said most third. All right, no. He said I'm trying back to his Rivet. He says I think Rivet is different. Nah, Dre. I'll debate you. Nah, bro. I humbly disagree with you, Notorious Dre. That's cap. Hell nah.
Listen.
Rivet has a good story and background.
No. I'm about to get you. I'm about to get you right now. I'm about to get you. How is Rivet different when Rivet is Ratchet? How is she like that? Just common sense. That makes no sense. How can Rivet be different when Rivet is Ratchet? So how is she different? Mm-hmm. It's the same character, the same personality. Like, how is she different? She can't be like this. It's not possible for her to be different because she's the same character. Like, that makes no sense, man. It's so whack. It is whack, and it was the most easiest route to go to make a story, dog. Like, come on, man. That's so lame.
Why Ben Craft? And I'm saying this wrong. He said it's just a skin mod.
That's a skin mod. That's facts, dog. Just a skin mod. Cause she got the same movesets with the same guns, man. Like,
yeah. Don't all the weapons upgrade at the same time?
At the same time.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we talking? Like, there is no way she can be man. How? Dope Boy. How was she different when she's the same person?
Yeah.
Just with gray hair. Like, I don't get it.
Verge Brizzle for $2 says smooth. Dre's right. Same characters, whack story. Hey,
it's
this
so
is not
lame.
Coming from me. This is coming from the experts on this game. Like,
it is so lame how they did that. Like, this story could have been so much better. Like, I put it to you like this, man. If they would have cut out Rivet and had Ratchet on his sub story in the overall main story, it would have been a much better game. Because Rivet was not needed. Rivet was not needed.
I think they wanted a way to introduce, because just like how you said the game could use like some sort of revamp, it would have been stale if it was just another Ratchet and Clank game. So they put another.
I agree with that.
They put another character, a likable character. If you notice about a lot of these games on PlayStation, they'll introduce their existing franchise. They'll throw in another character, preferably another female or something like that. Just think about games like, Last of Us. Abby came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she's a favorite. They probably had the same impact for people are gonna like Rivet. Remember, there's a lot of these people fucking were turning into bestiality, like masturbate into a Lombax. You know what I mean? So, and to the degree it worked, but like same with these new characters. Like, but if you think about a lot of these games, existing IPs that PlayStation has, they found ways to, if they're not going to change too much about it, they add new characters. God of War, they add his son, you know what I mean? Add new gameplay element. And I think this was the safest choice, because you can't change a platformer. Like, Ratchet and Clank has this formula, but what could you have done more to change? You can't really change the gameplay. They did enough to change enough gameplay. This is the different type of stages with the pulling with into the rifts and then the traversing. This is probably the most traversing you've done in a Ratchet and Clank game. And they learned the whole traversing thing because they had Sunset Overdrive, they had Spider-Man. So they felt like they did enough gameplay wise, but that wasn't enough. They was like, all right, now we have to throw in a new character. What can we do? Make a likable character. Make another Lombax, make her cute and pretty purple, and put another a good voice behind it, and that should be good enough.
I'm trying to think, what could they have done to I think saying putting crafting it in a game is like the easy way out of trying to change things up when you've been a certain way. But maybe that could have worked, putting crafting. That maybe, but it already has.
Craft. Yeah, it has a standard.
It already has.
Like when I played Ratchet and Clank,
that's true.
When I booted up, I was like, oh, I know how to play this game. I've never learned. I never stopped learning how to play this game. So
I'm sure. I don't know, man. But that's the thing, though. I'm not a developer, man, and that's for them to figure out. And like, I'm really so shitty because I understand we're not supposed to take reviews to heart, right? But man, these reviews, dog, for this game, I think it was a lot of fluff and a lot of cap, man. A lot of cap, a lot of fluff, just to say that they like a Sony game. Because if they really just sat there and really just thought about it, I don't see how they can come to the conclusion of Rivet having her own personality and her story being good, because it's not. So I don't know, man. I don't want to scream media bias, but I think a lot of people was just they were excited for an exclusive current gen game, and they were in that. They had a love potion. They were in that honeymoon phase, and they couldn't come out of it.
I'm gonna tell you something, Dre, and I said this a lot. Now the thing is, I love Ratchet and Clank as a video game. I love him as a character. So I really don't have any smoke for Ratchet. She leaves her phone in here, of course. I don't have any smoke for Ratchet. So I believe his review scores is like you either like the game type of game or you don't. But I do believe that certain games have. Oh my god, that phone is driving me nuts. Oh my god! Like, hold on, give me 1 second, dude.
Yo, chat. Am I bugging? Dope boy, shut up. I don't want to hear from you right now. We're gonna be in Discord later. But chat, am I bugging for the thoughts I'm thinking? If you played Ratchet and Clank, let me know, man. Let me know if I'm bugging or not.
All right, my bad.
I think I'm dead on though. So.
I do feel what you're saying, that people are just showing love to PlayStation games just because they feel like they have to. It's an exclusive. I feel like Ratchet and Clank earned the score it got to, a degree. Returnal, however, is one of those games this is what people do, right? In terms of reviews, they throw out their "this is my game of the year" card too fucking early. Returnal was that damn game. Like, I don't see Ratchet and Clank as being game of the year. I thought it would be great, but I don't think it's going to be game of the year. It's I mean, it can only get so high, right, for that type of game. Returnal is a game that literally got scores too high for its own good, and they did not deserve those scores. I will stick by this because now this is the problem I have with these stupid ass reviews, right? Because that game got so high marks, right? When they actually do improve, they'll finally get they'll earn their review, the score from the score that they should have gotten. Because now that these scores are so high, now the expectations for any games for the future should be high. Because Returnal is not a good game. It's not a good game. You know what? It just hit me because I'm not a roguelike player. I was watching somebody play fucking Dead Cells. And I'm looking and I'm like, yo, Returnal is Dead Cells with the PlayStation template. All they did was put the camera angle at a PlayStation exclusive angle and that's it. It's Dead Cells. I'm looking at these boss fights and I'm like, what? I was like, these are the same type of fights, the same patterns, lights and shit and jumping. I'm like, it works better in a top-down view, right? In a 2D thing. So I'm like, yo, okay, so that's all that is a fucking behind-the-shoulder Dead Cells. And the game was full of bugs.
And it was full of bugs.
The game for a PlayStation 5 exclusive had no business being a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
I agree. I agree with that.
I still can't phantom that those were actual, true, honest review scores. What was the final Metascore for that game in 86?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a damn lie. And that's why, and see, this is the problem. If that game's an 86, I'm looking at Ratchet and I'm like, okay, Ratchet's definitely scoring over a 90. It has to. Because if that mess is a B+, Ratchet is an A- at best. So
I see what you're saying.
Games like that put my expectations up for other players. I was like, all right, so of course I expect Ratchet. This Returnal is the one that made me lose money. I lost money on Returnal because the game should have scored below 80, and I lost money on Ratchet because Returnal scored a mid 80. Ratchet should have scored a 90, but it scored below a 90 because Returnal scored an 86. These aren't good scores, and every time review scores come up, I will always blame Returnal as getting false clout.
Well, hold on,
my bad.
You gotta put it in the genre that it's in, right? So you can't blame Ratchet, for you can't vice versa. Like you can't blame Ratchet for having the high scores and then try to compare it with Returnal. I mean, it's two different games. So I'm thinking.
Is the best game in this genre? Is Returnal the best game in this genre?
I don't know. I don't play them type of game. I only played Returnal. I only played Returnal because I wanted to prove to myself that I can beat a game like that. That is the only because Returnal ain't my type of game at all, and that's the only reason why I played it, to prove to myself that I can beat a game like that.
Returnal also rated higher than Ghost of Tsushima. And Ghost of Tsushima looked more like a PS5 game than Returnal.
Ghost of Tsushima is definitely better than Returnal too.
The lies that people were telling about Returnal, how good it looks. Once the motherfuckers learned that shit was fucking, I don't know what resolution this is. They shut that shit up quick. I've never seen nobody shut up about the visuals of that game so fucking quick. Them niggas thought they were looking at ray trace reflections and shit. I'm sorry, dude. Yo, why don't nobody call these people out? They like, yeah, Returnal has ray tracing. No, the fuck it don't.
I'm gonna be real with you. The only person who I know called out Returnal for its visuals was Hard 8. That's the only person that I know who called out Returnal for its visuals. Only person. Well, you and Hard 8. You and Hard 8.
That game
only two
fucking
people.
Oh man, that game made my TV look like somebody blew their breath on the screen, bro. Like that fucking like
that's definitely a late PS4 Pro game. Definitely visually.
Oh man, like
absolutely.
But speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, so they have a new a standalone expansion coming out.
Standalone, yep.
I'm
here for that.
Have this been officially confirmed, or this is like rumor mill?
Rumor mill, yes, correct.
Okay. And where's this rumor mill spurting from? Does PlayStation have a showcase coming soon?
No, not that we know of, man. I hope so. Golly, man, because I hope so, but nothing is not officially confirmed. I've seen it, but I can't remember who put it out there like that. Yeah. But I hope it comes true though.
I still haven't beat the base game of Ghost of Tsushima.
Dude, so. Bro, what you waiting on?
No, because this is what happened when I upgraded to the PS5. I lost my save file. So it's like I got to start from the beginning. It was like, it's a better game now at 60 frames, so I got time, so I'll do it. Shout out to the people that keep asking me. The game that's playing was the same game that was playing in our last podcast, and that's because I got too lazy. But this is Werewolf, the Apocalypse. The games should be on sale. It's on Xbox and PlayStation. It's all right. It's all right. Meaning that if you ain't got nothing to play, you want a simple A to B game just to get through, just to kill some time for a weekend. It's all right. You know, there's nothing next gen about it. It reminds me of, I don't know. I was about to say it reminds me of Dead to Rights, but it's nothing like Dead to Rights.
Hey, Dead to Rights was heat.
Dead to Rights was actually heat, but
hey, let me ask you something. Something I have something I had posted on Twitter, right? You know, I was just basically just ranting this morning.
Oh, I missed the Dre rant?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing crazy. Okay. Basically just like, so I feel as if that linear games, like games from point A to B, are not coming back in the traditional way that they used to, right?
Why not?
Because I feel like gamers are putting too much. They're putting value stat on a linear game, on an 8 to 12 hour game, and I feel like gamers will not support those type of games anymore, right? So in my opinion,
Evil it was Resident Evil 8 just did very
that's true, but that was like, it was more open. So that goes into my other point, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like devs are going to have to go the wide linear route or the hub world route, or either the open world route. Like, there won't be that A to B, linear games anymore, how it used to be. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, man. What you think about? Well, do you think that's the route that's going? Because like I see that change going already. So what do you think about that?
Well, I don't quite see it. Oh, well, it depends now, because if you're talking in terms of just like concept, right, of just a non-open world game, like, I don't think people are gonna. I think the whole, like, it depends, right? I think we'll still get the simple linear experience, because games they're gonna probably come back more often, because games are just too expensive to make. To have these crazy ass budgets. The best way to, I think, who was it? Was it Sean Layden that said this? It's like, games is gonna have to be like 8 to 10 hours long, and you get the best graphics possible, all that, stuff poured in, but it has to be confined to 10, 15 hour experience, which I'm absolutely fine with.
Oh, but peep this though.
Yeah.
People, we've seen it. People on Twitter was complaining about Ratchet and Clank, right?
Yeah.
And Ratchet and Clank is a to B. Like, I categorize Ratchet and Clank as a wide linear game, right?
Yeah.
It does have an A to B, but there's also X and Y, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and people were already down on the $70 price tag for Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
So now,
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
No. Because I want to make sure I absorb everything you're putting out there.
Right. Okay. So like, people are already complaining about that, right? And granted, shit, I don't know how many hours it took me to beat Ratchet and Clank, but I know it wasn't no 5 hours though. I know it wasn't no 5 hours like people are claiming, but I have to look on my PlayStation. Don't really know. So you think people are going to buy $70 for let's say a game like Uncharted 1 comes back, like not Uncharted 1, but a game like Uncharted 1, where that was just straight A to B, right?
Yeah, last few Tomb Raiders have done that shit.
Yeah, right. 8 to 10 hours, $70, right? Mm-hmm. Do you honestly think people won't complain about a game like that?
People are going to complain for the simple fact, as long as there's other games still existing at $60 that offers more, people will complain, and rightfully so. Now, I don't think people should complain at the fact that, because we've had games like Ratchet and Clank and Returnal and Resident Evil 8, all at $60 and shit like that, shorter, longer, whatever, same quality. It's just that people, until $70 becomes standard for all, people are going to complain about that. That's the weapon that people have. It's like, all right, told you it's not worth $70, and that's the problem people are going to have until the industry at all pretty much changed their price at once. The benefit the last time that when games went from $50 to $60, everyone done it, and it was really the first parties who kind of just helped their games back, but that wasn't. First party games weren't always the GOAT status, you know, the best games. They were just like, all right, they were unique games, right? So because there's such a divide on where the pricing of games should go, and so people are afraid to up their prices for the simple fact the climate that we live in, you know, we in a pandemic, and obviously people are, you know, fighting for goodwill and stuff like that. So since there's such a divide in the gaming community, and you got a subsect of games that are $70, and then you got there's all these other games that are still standard price, it's going to force people to look at like, well, why is your game $70 then? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. I mean, should a game like fucking, I don't know, should a game like
Ratchet let's just take Miles Morales. You know, the people called it DLC.
But Miles Morales wasn't $70 though.
I mean, if you wanted to, I mean,
if
true.
you put, but at that point, you're getting two games. At that point, I'm not complaining. So I didn't complain about Miles, but when you do look at a game at, you know, Resident Evil, and then you look at a game like fucking Returnal, and you're like, why is this game fucking $70? You know what I mean? Ratchet and Clank gets platinum some people platinum in 5 hours and whatnot. Like, it's like, okay,
I played them in less than 24 hours.
And people are like, well, damn, like, that's it, $70 well spent. And in terms of pricing impacting the type of games, if that's the case, if pricing is going to have that, then we're going to just get a bunch of fucking 2Ks and Assassin's Creed Valhallas. And I don't want that. I don't want every game to be this massive open world experience that I don't have enough time to freaking do. Like, those games are good every now and then, but I can't do that. I want my healthy amount of games that I can do in a weekend, but I do think they should be fairly priced. I don't think $70, even though it's only $10, but that $10 do add up after a time, because right now, with last gen, 2 games, $120. Same 2 games. This generation is fucking 100, yeah, pretty much 140, 150, whatever, $150 or so. And it's just like, well, damn, 4 games is a console.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So these games aren't outlasting the price tag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, like, and people laugh at this whole Game Pass shit, and the first thing they do is run to fucking Metascores and stuff like that. But when you think about it, in 1 month, just think, in 1 month, right? How many games can you beat in a month, Dre? Let's decide you don't play Mass Effect, right? Let's just eliminate Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed out of it, because those are obviously special type games, right? How many games do you think you can beat in 30 days in a month?
Probably good 5 or 6.
5 or 6 games, which is fine. That's 5. That's pretty much you. I mean, you work. We beat most of our games in like a 2-3 day stretch, usually a weekend. That makes sense. There's about 4.5 weekends in a month. So that makes sense. So you could beat 5 games in a month, and so you telling me that you can do that for the price of $15 on the high end?
I'm like, I don't understand the hate Game Pass gets. Like I've told you before, it saved me like $300. So I mean, anything that saves me money, I'm all good with. I mean, I guess it's just, I don't know, because on one hand, right, people say, okay, if that's $70, if you see value in that $70, okay, why should somebody's opinion, other people's opinion matter if you see value in that $70? Okay, you know, I got no problem with that. I can see that point. But then on the other hand, I just spent $70 on a 8-hour game, 7-hour game. More than likely, the replayability isn't all that high.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, man, and that's why I said, like, these devs, like the traditional linear games, I don't think they're coming back in the standard way how they used to be.
I think they are though. But the thing is, if we're gonna get these cheap ass 8-hour gaming experiences for $70, they're gonna look good as shit. But the thing is, people can't afford to make these type of games. Like, they can't come out as often, bro. These big ass Last of Us type games, these big ass, they can't come out often. They can't. Not as often as they do. These mid-tier games come in. That's why studios like Asobo with a Focus Home, and they're dropping games like these werewolves, like fucking a Plague's Tale. Plague's Tale is gonna be the most anticipated fucking AA game I've ever fucking seen. Like, you know what I mean? But that's only gonna be like a 10-hour experience, bro.
It's June 6th. Don't forget.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's gonna be good, but it's gonna be on about like 10 hours, right? I don't know, bro. Like I'm just like, because now, like, more and more games. I don't think we're gonna lose those.
You don't think so?
I don't think we're gonna lose it. It's just the fact that you're gonna see this value argument is going to be there, but I don't think it's gonna change how like games are gonna be made. Because you would expect it now. If you're saying like, I think we're gonna get more like not open world games, but hub world sort of games.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, it's still like a sort of linear experience, because you gotta think about it, because what machines are capable of doing nowadays. Remember, a lot of those games that was made back then was due to restrictions. Like, you know what I mean? They could have made those games somewhat hub where it wouldn't have made the game any longer. It would have made the area more explorable. You know what I mean? We don't.
It could have though. Screens. Like if it had like side quests and things like that's what I'm saying. Like nowadays, you would take even Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was typically a to B type game, right? But now with Rift Apart, there's A to B and X and Y, right? So that's potentially where I'm getting at. Is like now it's no more of the linear games, is of these hub world games and these wide linear games. But people are like, I think I seen BG say that, you know, he's kind of getting tired of these open-ish games, and he's ready for a, you know, A to B type game, right?
Yeah,
but
I've been on that.
I'm just thinking, I don't see that coming, because people put too much value in those type of games now, especially now that if they coming out at $70.
Yeah, but the thing is, dude. But I've been saying since this podcast started that, bro, I just need that A to B experience. I don't want to be fucking playing a game for a month. Like, you know what I mean? I could do my Assassin's Creeds every other year. You know what I mean? Those big type RPG every other year. I can't do that shit every day. Like it. I don't think. Right now, there's an oversaturation of certain type of games. There's an oversaturation of battle royale games. There's oversaturation of these open world, like, let's waste your fucking time games. There's an oversaturation of these damn survival sims. Like, you know what I mean? There's not enough platformers. There's not enough of the action, those Indiana Jones s Uncharted, Tomb Raider style games. They need to be more of those, because those games don't need to be this big open world experience. They just need to be, all right, let me get through this in the weekend. Let me see how good a time I can have in this game. But I mean,
but you saying that, and let's just say this. I doubt this will happen, because it's more than likely going to Game Pass, right? But let's just say Indiana Jones was not coming to Game Pass, and it was $70, right?
Yeah.
You good with that? And it's a A to B linear game.
Yeah, because
okay.
How can I say this? The thing is, I don't, and this is gonna sound like kind of really odd, right? If the game's gonna be $70, the game's gonna be $70. Like, you know what I mean? The problem is right now, to me, the biggest problem with the $70 games is that there's too many games that aren't $70 that's giving you more. You know what I mean? So that's the big. They haven't proven the price increase. They should have gotten the whole industry to agree to a price, and they all do it at the same time, because now some dudes are just looking greedy. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, though, I don't require a game to be 50 hours long for it to be $70. Like I said, if you have a damn good experience game, a 10-hour game at $70, whatever. If I'll buy it. If it's that good, I'll buy it. I might have to buy it. Now, I would prefer this $70 game to have some replayability. Now, not me doing a bunch of dumbass side quests for 30 hours. Like, you got a campaign, it's good enough, and you got some sort of multiplayer elements or some sort of like something to pull you back in to keep playing and having some sort of a different experience every time you go at it. That would be more preferred. I would prefer a complete package, single player and multiplayer. And if you want to sell it to me for $70, if it's that good, sure, why not?
Glad you brought that up. That's another thing, right? But if it's not good,
but see, this is why I don't feel bad holding out for games until they go on the Game Pass. I feel you. People be pocket watching all the damn time. The thing is, people care so much about the status of their platform that they are willing to sacrifice their pockets. I need to support the dev. I need this game to be the #1 seller. I need this game to sell a lot and not fail on Game Pass. Like, no. I hate getting burnt. I've been burnt way too many times. Way too many times. For example, I thought Dark Alliance looked good. I thought I would be into Like a Dragon, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not really into it. Dark Alliance, if I would have bought that, if I would have bought, I don't care how much, $30, $50, if I would have bought it, I would have been mad. I bought a game for $2 and I learned it didn't support achievements and I was mad. Mm-hmm. The thing is that we all have buyer's remorse. And with a video games aren't cheap. I just think once at a time. I thought movies were expensive at a time when you buy them for $20. You know what's crazy? I think twice before buying a $20 movie before I think twice about buying a $60 or $70 game.
No, that's fair though, because a movie you only see it for 1 or 2 hours maybe. Yeah. With a video game, if it could possibly have replayability. Yeah. You would get much more out of a video game than you would out of a movie. So I understand that. I get that.
So I mean, games aren't cheap. So like I said, it's like the way I feel about the $70 things is like it's always, like I said, it's always going to be a problem until the industry all decides like, hey, games are $70. But till then, like I feel like those who opted to price their games at $70 early, they have more to prove. They got to show us why. What makes this $70 game better than this $60 game or that $50 game? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm missing. Returnal's not. I haven't played. Returnal's not. How can I say this? I played several $60 games, $50 games, and $40 games better than Returnal. I don't know what this Ratchet and Clank does that's better than the previous Ratchet and Clank. Other than it being on exclusive to a new gen PlayStation. It's Ratchet and Clank. It's the same game. It's the same type of game. Sure, the visuals look better. Okay, but is that what I'm paying for? Because Ratchet and Clank, the 2016 game, looked better than the games that came out in 2004 and 2002. And it was cheaper than the games that came out in 2004 and 2002 when they released. I don't know. I feel like they're not... It's just bad. It was different when all games went to $60. It was just like, all right, they're all at $60. It's a new gen consoles, whatever. Now it's like we're in this scattered market where I feel like those $70 games have something to prove. If your base price is $70, I just don't think Returnal should have been more than Resident Evil 8.
I agree. Just even though I haven't played Resident Evil 8, I kind of. I played a little bit of it, but there is a lot of replayability with Returnal. So I mean, I can see it either way. I could definitely see
there's a lot of replayability in Dead Cells.
I'll say this. I do not regret that I paid. I even bought the deluxe edition, so that was like $84.
$80.
Yeah, I don't regret that I paid it for $84, but the time I spent with it, I don't like that I paid $84 for it.
And what game you talking about, Returnal or Ratchet?
Returnal.
How many hours you spend in Returnal?
23. I beat it in 23 hours.
23 hours.
But again, it's a game that I don't mess with.
An hour, and it's not a genre. How many times did the game crash on you?
Once.
Okay.
Yeah.
$3.65 an hour for that game.
Yeah, and shit, and Ratchet is even shorter.
That was an even more premium hourly price. That was 15 hours or 24 hours.
I think I beat that thing in. Honestly, I don't know. I have to check them out on the PlayStation, but I doubt it was over 15 hours. Now it might say now over 15 hours because I went back to get the Omega weapons, but so initially probably not.
So let's say you did that shit in 13 hours. $5.38 an hour for that game.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't know, man. I know people are are getting fatigued, and I agree. I'm kind of right there with them, but at the same time, I don't see these winter games coming back.
It's weird,
like
bro.
That.
It's weird. Here's the thing, right? And then we can make our way out of here at some point, right?
All right, I got one more question for you.
Go ahead.
Well, one more little topic. No, we can keep going with this one. Yeah, after this one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, PlayStation, right? Like I said, people value that PlayStation has exclusive, right? That's the number one thing. PlayStation have games, so it can't do no wrong, right?
Okay.
You're done with Ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
I'm waiting for Kenna now. That's the one I'm waiting on. As a coming to PlayStation. Like I know it's on PC. I know it's on PC.
But but like the thing is, that it's just weird. It's like the fact that like the argument against like Game Pass and how highly valued that PlayStation exclusives are. So these games come once every 3 months. They're expensive. Now we can rightfully say they're expensive because they cost more than the average game, and the average game is still $60. The Game Pass is just a bonus. We know it exists. We know there's cheaper options to jump into some of these games, but it's like you get through the game, all right, you're done, and then it's like, okay, now I'm just gonna wait around to spend another fucking $70 for the next big thing. I don't know, man. I don't have anything against like PlayStation. They do have quality stuff, and I like how their games. It's a Ratchet, like I said, it's a change from anything I'm playing currently. It's different. It's enough of a change where it's like, all right, this gives me something to do. But I feel like I purposely extend the life of the games I have on PlayStation just so I can get my money's worth.
Yeah. You know what? I don't necessarily disagree with that. Like you said, I do enjoy PlayStation games. I enjoy my time with them. But I can see people maybe prolonging it to try to get those money's worth.
I don't want to be exactly like done. Once I'm done, I'm done and whatever, and I'll enjoy it. But I feel like I have to prolong it. Just like, all right, let me turn on, because if I beat, I'm sure. Like, what's my next back-to-back days off? Like, for example, I got the July 2nd through July 4th off. I could hold off and like, I'm not touching Ratchet until from there on. And I say, no, I'm gonna play this game this weekend. I'll probably finish the game that day, if that's the case. And then once I do that, and then it's like, all right, I'm not playing this PlayStation until something I want comes out. I don't know, man. It's not. I don't think it's not that they're. And I'm not blaming the games being $70, but I do think PlayStation should come up with I think they should change the concept. Not the concept, but they need to do something with PS Plus and PS Now. And I think they should be a little bit more competitive with Game Pass so that you can have that. You know what? Wouldn't mind having a bunch of different games that aren't available in that aren't in Game Pass, but in PlayStation. Like, I'm gonna play this set of games on PlayStation because it's in this service and whatnot. Their PlayStation Plus collection is cool, but if you are a PlayStation fan, you have probably all those games. The PlayStation Plus collection.
All those games aren't PlayStation exclusive. Like there are multiplats in that game.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
And like the PS Plus stuff, like those games are the games that they drop in there a month. I mean, I'm trying to think of what did I think the last one I sort of like took advantage of. Obviously, Destruction All Stars was a new IP, but it was trash. Control, I took advantage of, and then I'm not gonna take advantage of a place because I beat the shit in Game Pass. But I don't know, man.
You know, I'm just thinking like, okay, so the purpose of a PlayStation Now games would go right is to put a game that's been released for a minute, right? Sometimes there's a case where a new game, like those times this generation that they've had new games in there, right? But typically it's an old game that gets pushed into PlayStation Plus and you get it for that month, right? So I'm just thinking like, okay, why not take those games and put them in the PlayStation collection and just have them in there? Like, I think that would be kind of dope if they did that, or just put them in the collection to begin with, or something to that nature. I mean, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, I get that a lot of PlayStation gamers don't. I'm not trying to force even though this is just me talking. I would like a Game Pass like service on PlayStation. I just like options. That's just me, and I'm not trying to force what I'm saying on the entire PlayStation community. This is just me. I like Game Pass. I would like for PlayStation to have a type of Game Pass type service, but there's a lot of pushback from PlayStation gamers for Game Pass. Which I don't understand.
Yeah,
but,
I think people.
It's there.
I think the fan base.
I just think that would be dope if they did that or something to that nature.
It would be, but I think the fan base they just want what the company wants until and when Sony changes their mind, like they're coming around to games being on PC. They're coming around to the PlayStation exclusive tag being ripped off off the boxes and stuff like that. They'll get used to it, and then they'll have to move the goalposts just like Xbox guys did to a certain degree, and then it all just have to comes down to Metacritic and sales. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. But I got one of those.
Jim Ryan did said that there is something in the pipeline, in the works, for a competitor to Game Pass. Those are from Jim Ryan himself.
I mean, they already have it. They just have to do something with it.
PlayStation Now is big trash.
Champion Wave says Phil created a monster. Now he can't sell y'all games. If I don't gotta buy a game, I gotta buy a game. I'll tell you this right now.
Never understood. I don't understand why there's this backlash on saving money.
Yeah,
I don't get that. I absolutely don't get that.
When Outriders went into Game Pass, I was like, hey, I was willing to buy Outriders, but I was able to play the game, beat the game, and plus more 11 days in the game. I got all that out of the game and my subscription. I don't need to buy the game. It can leave Game Pass. I don't need to buy it. I have no real intent to play. Same thing with the Medium. I support Blooper. I thought that this was their best game to date. Better than Blair Witch, better than Layers of Fear, better than Observer, the other game they make. It was their best game to date. If it wasn't on Game Pass, I would have bought it. It was an Xbox exclusive at the time, but I was able to play the entire game and damn near almost 100% complete the game in my subscription. I have no need to buy the game. They're not making me buy the game, so I'm not going to buy the game. The next game I'll probably buy let me say this. The next game I will buy that will land in Game Pass for sure will be Halo and Forza. I will end up buying those Forzas because they end up because there's licensing agreements. They stop selling after a while. They'll take they actually have a shelf life, so you actually have to buy them so you can actually own them for Forzas. So I'm going to buy that. I just won't buy it immediately because I have no reason to buy it immediately. I'll just make sure I'll buy it maybe after a year that it came out. So if it does, if the store life of the game ends in like 5 years from now, I still own a game that I can still play. Because right now, you can't buy Forza Horizon 2. You can't no longer buy Forza Horizon maybe 3, maybe? I don't know. Forza Horizon 2 you can't buy. Forza 6 you can't buy. And Forza 5 you can no longer buy. And I'm going to and buy Halo. And then he had another one, but you got his question before I read this other super chat?
No, I don't have his question. There was a question that kind of want to throw your way real quick. And he said, go ahead with the super chat. Go ahead. Yeah,
he says, we beat exclusive, then play multi, and vice versa. That's great. You beat exclusives for $70, and then you go beat or play multi-plats for $70. We beat exclusives in Game Pass, and we beat multi-plats in Game Pass. Back 4 Blood is going to be in Game Pass. I don't know if you guys, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry. It is what it is. If it's one thing is like, okay, we only play our exclusives in Game Pass, but no, now there's enough quality third-party games going in Game Pass. It's whatever. The games I buy are the games that aren't going in Game Pass. I bought Scarlet Nexus, pre-ordered it. I'm playing it. I'll beat that game, and then when I'm done with that, I'll be ready for the next game that go into Game Pass, which is like The Ascent and something else. Mm-hmm. But go ahead.
Real quick, G Junior. I'm not going to reply to this. I want to hear your thought on this. He said, "Do you honestly think if Microsoft was currently in PlayStation's position, would there be a Game Pass?"
Yes, because a Game Pass. There would be a Game Pass because this was their ultimate goal. They could, all right, this would have happened sooner had niggas not cried about DRM and all this other stuff. If you think about it, we're pretty much willingly taking their original plan. It's just repackaged to us differently. You know what I mean? Come on, Game Pass. All right, you thought GameStop couldn't coexist with us not buying used games? How can they coexist with Game Pass? No, they had to partner with Microsoft. They had to run their internals, and it's like, all right, we can make our money this way. If Microsoft was not saving GameStop right now, GameStop couldn't coexist with Game Pass. It just doesn't work because they're taking money, they're taking customers away from them, especially in the used game market. We don't have to buy a used game in Game Pass. Like a game going into Game Pass late, right? Maybe it doesn't go in day one, but it goes down 3 months down the line. That's equivalent to buying a used game, pretty much, right? So that they were always headed in that direction. I feel like it would have sort of came sooner. Remember, Microsoft was always ahead of the curve. It's just that they did shit too early, and it just never manifested. Nobody want to connect, but now everybody has Alexas to do the same thing. People turning off on and on their Xbox with Alexa instead of they could have done it with their Kinect. So, yes, Game Pass would have still been in play because at the end of the day, there's always sure Xbox would love to have the number of Xbox sold, and they could still sell as many Xboxes, but why do that if you? The thing is, Microsoft don't sit there and look like, oh man, like we're gonna do this console this years from now. Our goal is to sell this many. This is what's going on around Microsoft and Sony. They're all in the entertainment industry, right? You got music, you got movies. They've all managed to progress, and they're watching all these other industries just collect money in ways that they should be able to, but they're just behind. So Microsoft is just like, okay, well, we're limiting ourselves here. How many consoles can we really manufacture, and how many consoles can we really sell? Nobody's selling 1 billion consoles because nobody's making 1 billion consoles. It's just not going to happen. However, you can make unlimited games. You can give unlimited access to games. You can get a certain subscription number or player access number. That is possible when you eliminate the barrier. I may not agree. I'm not high on cloud gaming and all this other shit, but I can see how that's possible. Like Game Pass itself, think about it. Remember, they've been talking about cloud for a long time. How you can't? Nobody's gonna buy a cloud game for $60. You're not gonna spend $60 just to play. Like that's why Google Stadia is failing. Nobody wants to buy a $60 game just for it to be only attainable through the fucking cloud.
Mm-hmm.
No, so how do you do that? They have the consoles. They pretty much do it this way. They can sell you a game once. They can sell several people the game once, right? How you access it is how you access it. Not everybody's going to access it from an Xbox or a PC. Some people will buy it from the cloud or access Game Pass through the cloud without ever touching the Xbox. But the thing is, it's the opportunity cost that is there that's just much larger than being number one on NPD. It's just, no matter what, PlayStation can sell as many consoles if they want. Xbox can sell as many consoles as they want, but at the end of the day, they would still never reach their true, what they want to reach. Because you're not going to manufacture just enough consoles. They can't, like, they're looking at Drake and all these other people get like 1 billion streams. And I'm like, damn, that could be a game. Mm-hmm. How many subscriptions Apple subscriptions they got? I've been subscribed to Apple for a long, and I don't even know why. I just feel like it's just a necessity. But
I just seen a comment. Yeah. We gotta stop this notion that Xbox has more first party games coming now in the future. We don't know. Nobody knows what Sony has coming. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody knows. So they could announce 30 goddamn exclusive, man. We just don't know, man. We got to pump the brakes on that, man. Just a little bit, man. Take your foot off the gas a little bit.
I mean, but we could do that. But here's the thing, right? If everybody's talking, the thing is, people back in 2013 and 2014, Xbox had all the games up front. You know, mm-hmm. PlayStation had announced all these games, but they end up coming into play 2015, 16, 17, and all that other stuff, right? The same thing's gonna happen with the Xbox. So the thing is, the whole, if I'm like, I don't know why people are still talking about games on the front of Xbox if they already see the pipeline. So it starts next year, officially starts next year with games that aren't familiar, with new IPs and all this other stuff, right? After next year, it's pretty much a wrap. So it's like, how long do people really want to hold on to this notion that Xbox has like no games or something like that? I don't know how long people are finna ride.
I think the notion is more towards the I guess the quality, the score of the game. Like, if these games aren't scoring in the must plays of a Metacritic, you know, then that's where it comes. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
but who knows?
But I can't even, like I said, we saw what happened. We can't even always rely on Metacritic because people, like I said, people are prisoner of the moment. Their judgment is too cloudy, and they'll find, more often than not, they'll either overrate a game or underrate a game.
Yeah, true that. My thing is, though, because I'm still waiting on this, though, and I remember we talked about this a minute ago. Mm-hmm. If Xbox isn't software market leader, I see that as a fail, man. Like, because I think that's how they judge it, right? If you are market leader, then I think that's the dub that they, you know, parade around, right?
But I don't know.
So if Xbox is doing all this, right, X, Y, and Z, and I know what you're about to say with Game Pass, how can you really tell about market? Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying as well. Like, how are they going to get market? How are they going to get market share, become market leader, software wise? If you know, if they're doing this strategy the way that they are, and I know you say they got mobile and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still Game Pass. And if Game Pass isn't pushing it enough for them to be market leader, how are they going to do it?
What's market leader? For them to sell the most consoles?
Oh no, most software. Most software played on that platform.
All right.
That's how I judge market leader. I don't judge it by console sold.
All right, so software sold or software or player count?
But that's the toss up, right? Because player count goes into the pot of a Game Pass, right? And I guess users sold is ones who are physically buying the actual. But see, that's the thing though. How are we going to judge that with Xbox? it's kind of like a slippery slope with that because you got two different ends of one sword.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think after a while it has to not like matter to the consumer at that point, because Xbox is gonna, when Xbox is gonna be like, we have 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, concurrent Game Pass. 10 million people played Halo the first day on the Xbox Game Pass. Those are gonna be those numbers, and they're not gonna tell you how much you're gonna sell.
Well, they've been doing that.
Yeah, but those are the metrics they have to live by. And this is why where the console war, it just is going to get interesting, because really, I mean, what is there to highlight? I mean, people live and die about a game, selling, this many millions in 3 days, or being number one on the NPD. People live and die about PlayStation 5 beating out the Switch, or the Switch, beating out PlayStation. After a while, it just doesn't matter. We've seen Xbox make record profit. Xbox and Microsoft make record profit in a year in which they legit made no fucking games, and that was in 2017. I was ashamed. I was truly ashamed, because I'm like, how do you do that? So at the end of the day, if it's not really our job to like front who made the most money, who got the most money, because at the end of the day, at that point, I'm getting to the point where I kind of want some of that money. I don't care like how, because at the end of the day, Microsoft, Xbox, whatever, they're not in a position where they're gonna fall anytime soon. They just made their $2 trillion, dude. It's just like, I don't like, I don't care, dude. Like, in terms of like the concept, we can argue sales and who performs better day and night, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I said this on Twitter earlier today, and somebody, I think, what's his name? King Thrash was mugging Special Ed or Special Nick. He's the dude that be leaking shit all the time.
Special Ed.
Yes, he was talking about that. He was speaking of that he platinum Ratchet and Clank, and he just didn't see that it, like, he said he probably could have done it quicker had he played every day. But he was like, he talked back to like, but it's $70. I don't think it was really worth it. And you know what they do? They asked for his gamer tag and his PSN. They rated his shit, and they sitting there asking him, like, King Thrash asked him why he feel, because he's from Australia, I think, why you feel comfortable paying $750 and they haven't delivered a game in 6 months. They do all this other shit, like, and I'm like, bro, and I'm gonna answer this question for you. And I said it on Twitter. And nobody's gonna agree with this, which is fine. This is why I say shit like this. But Xbox is just better than PlayStation, point blank, period. That's just how I. This is just how I feel. It's
like, respect.
So I'm obviously not the only one to think it. For all the, you got all these people coming out saying how they feel about PlayStation and Xbox, and then people getting mad because of their opinion and whatnot. I've seen for the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing people put Xbox Series X in their passenger seat of their car because they're buying them from stores now that stock has kind of went crazy. They're starting to become available. So nice. It's like people are actually liking Xbox, and I personally think I no matter how much type of story I try to make up, or how much I try to damage control, I have no real excuse of why I play on Xbox more than PlayStation, or why I just think I just came to the conclusion it's just a better platform than the PlayStation. I was like, do PlayStation have better games? On pretty much, if I'm judging based on what's in front of me, PlayStation has better games. Okay, sure. PlayStation sells more. Okay, sure. They have the better controller. Maybe. Okay, sure. But so why do you like Xbox?
I just do.
Like
that. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I don't agree, but
yeah,
yeah. Hold on, real quick before we go, quick. This is gonna be real super fast. EA is supposed to be having an old game come back, reviving an old game, right? Most people are speculating that it's Dead Space. And I personally don't think it should be Dead Space. I think it should be NBA Street, but that's just me.
Okay.
Real quick, get thoughts on. Some people are thinking this is going to be a remaster of 1, 2, and 3. Some people might think it's going to be a reboot of Dead Space. Just your quick thoughts, real quick.
Well, the original developers of Dead Space have been shut down, Visceral.
Right. And it's done by Motive.
Oh, this game's being done by Motive?
Motive, yeah.
Fuck, so that might kill my NBA Live theory. I need it to be NBA Live. There's only one franchise that EA should be working on, and that's NBA Live. Not like
nah.
Motive. They make fucking.
They made Star Wars Squadron.
They make Squadrons. They help with Battlefront 2. What else do they fucking make? Like it's gonna be like.
I have no idea.
Whatever they're making, you're gonna be in a vehicle. When was the last non-vehicle game where? I don't know what Motive is good at. Like.
I don't either. That's a good question.
Another thing is EA did acquire, was the first one to buy a studio from WB.
I did see that mobile game.
Yes.
Good purchase.
Now,
good purchase.
The garage sale is open. Who's the next one to buy?
Well, I thought I read that WB is staying together because they just got purchased by Discover or Discovery or something like that.
Discovery doesn't want nothing to do with gaming.
So what the fuck they buy them for? What they go with them?
You know,
AT&T is Discovery.
Yes, there's other assets that are there that it's a bigger purchase, and just other areas is just going to have to get like kind of like factor out. So they sold one studio. Now who get the garage? Hopefully Xbox and Sony are shopping because. EA didn't buy any of the good studios. They bought some bullshit, which is fine. Go ahead, take the bullshit.
Well, it was no EA actually that mobile game, that golf game makes a shit ton of money.
Makes a shit ton of money, but not for me.
Well, not for you.
It didn't make any money for me. So like,
that's correct.
Like,
but I understand why they bought them. I get that. Yeah, I get it. I really hope that I know everybody wants PlayStation to get NetherRealm. And I think they should get what's the studio that made Lord of the Rings?
Monolith? Is that you talking about the one, the Shadow Earth?
Shadow Immortal. Yeah, whoever made them, I need PlayStation to get them because what they make is PlayStation. Like that's hand in hand right there. So I need PlayStation to get them. I need PlayStation to get NetherRealm for the fighters to come because. Xbox still got Killer Instinct, right?
Yeah, they have it in name. They don't have no developer though. They need...
Okay. I know. Isn't Rocksteady another big one?
Yeah, Rocksteady makes Batman, the Arkham series. And you also got they also have an Avalanche studio as well. They're working on Harry Potter.
And Rocksteady has been kind of in bed with PlayStation, in terms of like third party like exclusive. Like they had the Batman console, right?
Yeah.
They just been doing things like that.
Team too.
Oh, they got Telltale.
No, TT, the Lego team.
Yeah, and they call it Tell.
No, it's TT Games.
I called them Take Two at one point because that's what I thought that was. Damn. I can see Xbox getting them just on the strength of they already have that Minecraft type. They're already building that children's portfolio type thing over there.
I think
it's gonna be a good battle. Who see who gets who, man.
I think Xbox would need to do is for strength of need, they would need NetherRealm. Because they have to. Sony has all the fighters. They don't have him in house, but they have them as partners.
Yeah, okay. I got you saying. Guilty Gear.
Xbox needs like if they get Mortal Kombat, and then Ed Boon said he would do a Killer Instinct if he was given the opportunity. That would be nice. And they need TT Games for the simple fact they need to hone in on games for kids. At some point, they have to provide that. They don't have a team or IP. They have IPs, but they don't have a team to produce enough content. Otherwise, they would have to keep partnering with Super Lucky's Tale. And I mean, I would love to see. I would think in terms of proximity, I think Monolith, they're close to Microsoft in terms of like location. It'll be a easy team to integrate, but I don't know. I do hope Xbox and PlayStation do go grocery shopping at WB and walk out with some studios. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. Yeah. At this point, I'm just wanting Microsoft just to focus on releasing these games, man. That's what.
Yeah, they're gonna be announcing that they bought Avalanche pretty soon, though.
Now that's the team who made what's the car game?
Mad Max.
Mad Max, and ain't that them?
Mad Max, and they made Just Cause.
Just Cause, yeah, okay. That's a decent pickup. That's a decent pickup.
And they're making the game Contraband for them, so.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Nothing to shout to the roof about, but it's all right. It's okay. Good pickup.
Carlos Alvarado says number of subscribers will be in Game Pass by Halo release. I say 20 by time Halo release. They plan to have it by the end of the year. They want 30 million. If it depends, by the time Halo release, if y'all say Halo's going to release late November, there will be at least 29.5 million Game Pass subscribers.
Yeah, I agree. Around 30 million. I agree with that. Yeah, Game Pass is a hit, man. I know some people are down on it, man, but Game Pass is legit, man. I love it.
Emmanuel A1 for $3 says Sony is done once Drake becomes the Xbox ambassador. That's funny. And Champion Wave said if Sony had Game Pass like Model, Xbox would drown. I don't think so because you guys don't like renting games. You guys like buying them. So.
Hey.
All right, so. That's it for today. I mean, shout out to all you guys. I think we peaked at like 120 something.
Nice.
Definitely appreciate you guys coming through, showing out. I know we've been gone for a little bit, but you can catch us here next Friday, same time. Hopefully something happens that we could talk about. Jump back on the Scarlet Nexus and then let Dope Boy get into the call.
Yes.
So he can
get in this Discord, man, because you are off. Right now, I need to. I'm looking at Discord right now. I need to see your name pop up right now, man. Because you lost it, man. You lost it.
All right. So, but yeah, Dre, when your first video dropping?
Okay. So, man, I've been working on one. I'm trying to get a trailer ready, right? But I'm having a little. I'm conflicted with myself right now because I got the trailer. I got the trailer, right? I just don't know if I want to put voiceover on it or not. And I'm doing some voiceover right now, and I'm just like, okay, because so the way I'm doing my videos, right, real quick, I write them down. I can't freestyle that good.
Yeah.
So, and when I do freestyle, it kind of doesn't come out how I want to say it. So I write it down, right?
Yeah.
But as I'm reading it, it sounds too commercial, sounds too real. But I'm writing it the way how I talk, but as I'm reading it, it just comes off as way too commercial. And so I'm kind of conflicted right now. And this is just for the trailer, right? This is just for the trailer. I'm kind of conflicted on how I want to put this out right now. So that I'm just going back and forth with myself right now about that. But yeah, channel's coming. I finally found a simplistic editor that I can just click a button. And I try OBS. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too dumb for OBS or something, man, because that shit had me going through it. I'm like, how do you do this shit?
Well, what are you trying to do? Are you going to be on camera?
So, no.
If you're going to do, all right, so this is easy as shit to know OBS. You throw something on a scene, throw an image or gameplay, and then you just talking to the mic.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? I couldn't hear my audio, and I'm like, and I will add the media source. I will add the audio output and inputs and all that stuff. And even the media source that I would put, I couldn't hear the audio.
So wait. Are you recording your voice in the audio and then trying to drag it over to OBS?
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right, bro.
I have Audacity.
All right, so you're going to record in Audacity and then you drag that audio file into fucking Windows Movie Maker and put fucking gameplay or something on it. That's all you need.
Well, not so. Right now, the editor I have is what's it called? What's it called? Hold on, I'm tell you real quick. It's called Video Pad Editor, and that's
stupid ass shit.
But it's simplistic though, man. That's the thing. That's the thing. My mind is so, that's why I can think on my feet.
You got the free version
because I'm so simplistic. Huh? No, I got the free version.
But
it's on sale though. It's on sale for $70.
You might as well just buy this shit because they're gonna start handicapping your ass and shit and not
okay.
Like no, bro, like man, I have that shit too, but I seldomly use it because it takes too long to produce videos.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I just need something simplistic. Like I don't like to overthink things if it doesn't need overthinking. So I'm so simplistic. I just need something simplistic, and that's what it is, and that's why I fuck with it.
No, it's simple as fuck. Like
that's what I was saying. So that's why I got. But yeah, so trailer is coming soon. As soon as I can just wrap my brain around how I want to do it, and then videos is about. I'm about to take off, man. It's about to be good. Awesome. That would be great to finally have some time. It's good, like I said. Dope Boy's been dropping content. Old Man Logan got his channel. Old Man, Chris, right? Again, shout out to Old Man.
Yeah, so I think that would be awesome. But we're gonna sneak out of here though. We appreciate you guys for joining. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not. And
appreciate you guys. Appreciate you.
See you guys next week, man.
Peace. Okay, what